Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to have you here with us. Maybe you could just kick off with a brief introduction to your film. For people who don't know anything about it, how would you give us a glimpse of it as well?
Sure. I'm Natalia Almada. I'm the director of Users, and Users is in the Dare section of the festival, and it's a kind of visual essay documentary that looks at our intimate relationship with technology.
Okay, and where did you get the inspiration for this film, and why did you want to put this particular story on the screen?
It was a lot of things. I am a new mother, or I was a new mother. It was a while ago now. So when with little babies, you kind of confront all these very banal questions and decisions that you have to make all the time about like what diapers to wear and what stroller to get. And I live in San Francisco as of not too long ago, and I just started to think a lot about this intimate relationship to technology and my children's future in that context. And so, for instance, the first thing we shot is this little smart crib. You put your little baby, like your 2-month-old baby in, and you push your button and it responds to the baby's cries, and it rocks it just right, and it has a sound. And I just thought, like, what if my baby loves this crib more than he loves me, right? And that kind of question of, is technology going to be better than I am? Is the machine going to be more lovable than I am? Kind of drove this inquiry into our relationship with how it changes our relationship to nature, our relationship to each other. So it's a kind of, exploration of that, but from a pretty intimate and kind of meandering perspective in a lot of ways.
And talk us through a little bit the process of making it and how you decided what to put in the final edit.
I thought of the film a lot like a game, like this kind of stream of conscience where there's some key questions that I was posing myself and then kind of going out into the world, making images, bringing them back, working with them, responding to them with more images. My partner, Dave Surf, is a sound designer, so he was also building all the sound as we were going, and it's a huge part of the film. That was then scored by the Kronos Quartet and a fantastic flute player named Claire Chase. So the experience was kind of wild because we shot such different things. So things as kind of intimate as this crib in my house or a 2-year-old finger painting, to the installation of a fiber optic cable that had come all the way across the Atlantic and was arriving in New Jersey, or we shot in the wildfires of California. So we were literally in the fires, and we shot a vertical farm, one of the largest in the world. So there was a formal challenge and a kind of technical challenge as to how do you shoot all these different things and how do you make it all feel cohesive and part of the same film. And then there was the game of what do I shoot, what do I include, what do I leave out, how do I not make a film that's just like the biggest of, the best of, kind of catalog of technology, but rather one that moves you through this kind of intimate questioning about our relationship to it.
And this feels like we've got lots of things, fictional and documentary that like delve into our relationship with technology, and some are more sinister than others, So what do you hope people will take away from your particular film?
Well, the film is a little bit of a kind of sci-fi documentary in a lot of ways, and I think that element comes mostly from a synthetic voice double that we made of my voice. So I narrate a little bit of the film, and then eventually you see me recording this voice that becomes a voice double. So it has that kind of strange futuristic aspect. For what I hope people get out of it, I think about the film as a kind of invitation to engage. So it's a very slow, open-paced film that allows for the audience to kind of bring themselves into it. And I want us to have a dialogue about the ambiguity of technology, about the unintended consequences, about what it says to us about our desire and how it changes our way of being. But I want to have a kind of discussion about those things more than position you as an anti-technology or pro-technology film.
And if you were going to look into the future, do you see sort of Black Mirror dystopia, or do you see more of a utopia?
What interests me really is a kind of, like that voice, for example, I think about like my children will hear that when I'm gone. And what is it going to do to them? Will they have an emotional response to it because it's my voice, or will they know it's a machine and not feel anything? And so I just want to question those things and think about them. Or, we shot in this vertical farm, and it's amazing, and you think so necessary to produce more food, and yet what's going to happen to our sense of nature, right? And all these fields in Central California in particular that are agricultural lands are now replaced with solar panels. And so what was a kind of green landscape, although artificial also, is suddenly just covered with solar panels. And you think that's fantastic, but what is it? How does it change our sense of the natural world, or where our food comes from, or how did the fires change the way we think about global warming and how technology is going to solve that or cause it, etc. It's a lot of questioning.
And just very finally, how does it feel to have the movie playing here at London Film Festival?
Oh, for me, this is incredibly special to be here because I haven't gotten to see the film with an audience. We premiered at Sundance in January and received the award for Best Director, but it was all virtual. And then the whole spring festivals were either virtual or I couldn't travel. So it's been sad to not have that experience with an audience, not be around other filmmakers. And so I feel really grateful to be here.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that with us, and enjoy the rest of the festival. Thank you so much. Cheers.